But what I'm trying to get at is the fact that I've always looked at branding in that sense.
Yeah.
When you read what it is, I don't want you to know what it is by just the name.
Facts. Because I believe a brand is a feeling more than a sentence.
Yeah, that's why it's not 3 Shots of Tequila podcast.
Yeah.
It's just 3 Shots of Tequila.
Yeah. 100%. And I love
Faded.
that. I love that.
It's just faded.
Yo, my people, damn! It's got to just, you know what I'm saying? It's got No, that won't be starting. I just got to get my vocals warmed up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, man's a meme in this thing. Yo, my people, them, it's your boy Trist Rap City. We are back with another episode of the Brand Therapy Podcast. Now, this week, definitely something that's been overdue. I would say definitely an exciting one because it's a conversation that we should have had multiple times over the years. We have multiple conversations off camera, never actually done it documented, ever. You guys know who this guy is, man. Like, I've got like a podcast goat coming into my podcast. So you see, after this one, you know the price is gonna go up. Spotify, shout me, link me. Nah, this week we've got my guy Taser motherfucking Black.
Yeah, I like
what on, my bro?
I'm here finally.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. We've been due to do this for how long? Like when you really deep it, which we're gonna obviously go back for, but bro, this is hella overdue, bro.
It's been a long time. So
obviously appreciate you coming down first and foremost. I know that you're a busy guy now, and I know that things are.
I mean, it's lockdown, so I made some time for you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a bit of a priority, but boom, listen, I'm gonna start straight away. So first and foremost, the reason why, because I like to start with that, is why we've got this gentleman on our podcast this week. Definitely someone that I think lives the idea of a brand, like is a brand within himself. Taser Black is a brand separate to all these other brands as well, which is something that I pride myself on. But above all of that, like a little fun fact for you guys, like a lot of my journey started around the time where Taser was very, very early on. I'm not going to say it's necessarily your start because you probably was working before that. But if we go back, I probably knew you from around like 17, 18 when I was, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was a young boy.
Am I older than you?
Yeah, of course you are, bro.
I don't actually know how old you are.
29, bro.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah,
no pimple, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
All right, cool,
so
cool.
Back then, to give them like a bit of a background, 'cause I don't know how many of even your following know, but back then I think we first connected probably via Twitter. And I think at that time it was based off of full tees, like just like a mutual respect, seeing the work you was doing, you seeing the work I was doing. I was like, yo, bro, send some of those jumpers, we'll promo them here and vice versa, etc. But going all the way back to full tees, at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, you had a blog with it.
Yeah, so what it was is I started a clothing line, me and the Mandem, and it was my clothing line, but it was for like me and the Mandem, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it built traction in Northwest, and then obviously I was like, I want to go outside Northwest. How do I do that? So what I realized is if I set up a blog and documented what was going on around the time, sort of like what DJ Academics does today.
Sick.
Yeah, if I set up a blog and just document all the stuff that's going on in like our culture, it will build traction to my blog, and then from my blog it would attract people to my website, which was selling the clothing. So, but then the blog kind of consumed everything because it was like, that's what people came for.
Yeah.
That's when I had to start reaching out to people to actually be like, yo, I've got this clothing. Can you wear it? Can you put it here, put it there? Then I'd blog that. So then when people are watching the music videos or the interviews or whatever, they're seeing people wearing these items and they're like, oh, what's that? And then, and it led back to the website and did it, so.
Do you know what? I'm glad that you've gone there straight away. Like, firstly, that's something I saw Karen Civil do, and it's something that I saw Tiny Temper do really well, where they had blogs that were not necessarily for the. So he had Milk and Two Sugars.
That's it. Yeah, Milk and Two Sugars.
And I think like just to hit you straight away with it, like why was you so ahead of your time in that thinking? Because we're talking like 2010, 11.
I just felt like, you know, when you're present on social media and you realize what people are attracted to.
But where did your first presence start? Because you've been a name.
Socials?
Yeah, full stop.
Just being me on socials essentially. So if we're going back, I'm talking about Face Pick, High Five.
Man said face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. MySpace, like
MySpace,
if you think about it, even MySpace, I kind of made it a thing. I didn't know I was doing this, but now that I look back at it, I'm like, it's branding. I made it a thing to be in people's top friends. Yeah, because it just raised awareness.
Yeah.
Like, they go to this girl's profile. Who is this girl? it's like for example, let's say we look at like the top 5.
Why is it gotta be a girl?
Because I didn't care about the man them.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't want that
That was a
association
small shot.
with the.
That was a small shot.
No.
We're warming up. Like, go.
You know when I didn't like. Obviously, I'm from the ends. Like people like to say the ends.
Yeah.
But you don't want that affiliation.
Yeah.
When you're trying to navigate in the
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
I had the man them there, but you'd never see them.
Yeah.
I just they were just there. Do you know what I mean? So when you're cutting through, it's like you go to a hot girl's page. Look at her friends. Who does she know? You'd see me somewhere.
So this started early.
But you know, like I'm not realizing I'm doing
Yeah.
this. Or it's not something that's done. Like I'm writing down the rules, but I know what I'm doing. It's to raise the awareness.
Yeah.
So there's certain girls who were like bait.
Yeah.
Top 16, and then you'd see me somewhere.
16s, you know. Yeah.
You'd see me somewhere.
So was that? Did you ask them? How did you? When you say
build a rapport with people, innit?
So you just got it to the point of where. So did you know? But did you? When you say you didn't know what you was doing, there was no intention back then. That was just you just did it.
No, but you know, like when you're cool with someone and the person's going through their friends, thinking who they should put in top 16. More than likely they'll be like, "Oh, Tay should be there."
But you see, you say like, and this is what always happens. I feel like, especially with people that I connect to anyway, we're already in the deep end. Yeah. You see, you say that's what happened. Like, how? Right, so we all know that Tay's is very, very good at communication and very good at relationships. You're very, very good at maintaining relationships. That's your key. Yeah. Where did this come from? Like, is this intentional? I just like I like being nice. I don't see the point in being a certain way. I feel you.
Do you know what I mean? And I like to think about it. The reason why I started events is because I like seeing people have a good time. Yeah. It makes me happy. Do you know what I mean? And I've been in the event game for 8 years now. So it's not like a thing where, because I thought it was a cash cow. I was throwing house parties in my house. Yeah. Trying to convince my Nigerian mum to go out so I could throw a house party. Yeah. Like anyone who's Nigerian will know, bruv, that is foreign. Anyone who's African will know that is foreign. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But I'm convincing my mum just because I wanted my friends around me so we could have a good time. And anybody who's around me now knows that I just like to have a good time. Yeah. No, we know that you've been that guy, 100%. This is what I'm saying. 100%. So when I look at how I've been navigating from then, it's just more to do with I'm making friends with these people because you look like someone who's down to have a good time. Yeah. And it just so happens that in this, let's say this thing we call social hierarchy, you just happen to be someone who's near of importance. Even for example, me and you. Yeah. How we connected was through just events authentic. And being two people who like to have a good time. Yeah, facts. You know what I mean? So obviously, we're doing our thing, we're working on certain projects and whatever, and we found a way to come together organically. Yeah. It was never forced. No, never. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's another thing as well. I don't ask people for nothing. So people don't feel like, Taser's just around me because he wants something from me. Taser's just dropping the gems, you know. First 5 minutes. Nah, facts. And it's how I've managed to cut through. It's mad. I was going to say to you, like, I think something that we probably recognize, I recognized in you early, which I liked, was the fact that you was... So one thing I liked about being in Play Entertainment was we thought outside of the box. Yeah. And everyone has to agree with that. So like I remember even Play used to say something as basic as when we're standing outside flyering, go further down the road while everyone's flying at the door, wait for the girls to drop all their flyers and then hit them with the flyer right before they get in the car. That's the one they're probably going to take. Little things like that. And I remember seeing firstly, it was your branding. Like the way that you came out with Faded, you could look at Faded and never think it was anything to do with you. Yeah. And I believe no one really was doing that then. But I'm still doing it now. Think about it. 3 shots of tequila. What does it mean? What do you mean? What does it mean? What do you mean? What does it mean to you? It's a good question. 3 shots of tequila to me is like, it's like a vibe. Like it's lit, innit? It's just lit. It's exactly. Just like there's no holds barred. There's no filter. It's just I had 3 shots of there's 3 shots of a madness basically. Do you know what I mean? Like, but in people's head now that's a podcast. All right. It's not just all right, let's slow down because you're getting everywhere I want to go. You're getting there for me. What I'm trying to get at is the fact that I've always looked at branding in that sense. Yeah. When you read what it is, I don't want you to know what it is by just the name. Facts. Because I believe a brand is a feeling more than a sentence. Yeah, that's why it's not 3 shots of tequila podcast. Yeah. It's just 3 shots of tequila. Yeah. 100%. And I love Faded, that. I love that. It's just Faded. Do you know why I love Faded? Like, so for example, where I related to that is my number plate, yeah? Like, I know it's just it's just a number plate, but for me, it was the same kind of thing. It was like, it represented so many things. Like, if I was still doing events, I probably would have had a wave. Like, it's so mad because I got inspired by one of my brethren who put Faded on his Ferrari. That's where I got the idea to do wave. Is it red? It was, yeah. I've had people send me pictures. F4DD, I wish. Yeah. That was what inspired. Yeah, that's my brethren. Oh, that's that was he put it on a car that was similar wrap to mine at the time. He put it on a G-Wagon that was the car key that I had on mine.
And I thought I wanted something like that. Like, I wanted like a lit or just something that was just one word and it's just a whole vibe, innit?
Yeah.
And that's obviously how we ended up at Wave. Talking of 3 shots of tequila. Ladies and gentlemen, something I don't usually do on the show because usually it's not really alcohol friendly, but we got my guy Taser. It's a different kind of show today. It's a lot more relaxed and it's my guy. Do you know what I mean? We're vibes and it's Sunday, like we're feeling good. Like, you feeling good right now?
Yeah, 100%.
More time you're feeling good anyway. I don't really know like a negative.
That's what I'm saying.
More time you're
just cutting you having fun.
Let's get as well. Guys, just so you're aware, I'm not a tequila man. Like, tequila for me, this reminds me of Miami nights and just...
Oh yeah, this guy tweeted. No.
Oh yeah, you came with it. Go.
He posted a tweet, and it's like, because I speak about this often, but not a lot of people can relate because it's annoying. So I had the opportunity of going ATL when I was 23. That's very young to hit America, So I saw certain things and I'm like, yo, you man ain't gonna understand why I think the way I think. Because I saw it at such a young age. Bro. There's certain patterns that when I do it here, you're going to enjoy it, but you're not going to understand why. Yeah.
Facts,
so when you tweet what you
facts.
tweeted, I said, bro, I get it. And I tweeted the video and evidence.
Just to enlighten you guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, it was just basically about the feeling that you get when you're in the middle of Miami. Like, just for example, it could be any club, but it was Live at the time, and you hear Meat Mill's Dream Chaser intro. Like, and I know a lot of people are like, yeah, no, it's mad. No, we're not talking about in London. It's a different vibe.
We were in Club Live. Well, I was in Club Live.
I was in Club Live as well. In the experience.
No, you went years ago though.
Years ago.
With me, it was recent. But I went ATL.
So, bro, I've done ATL 3 times. ATL.
So I did ATL when 2 Chainz just started bubbling.
Okay.
TI.
Yeah.
So just that feeling, crazy. Even the club that I went to, it was $100 to get in.
Where was it? Medusa?
No, I went to Obsession and Velvet Room.
Oh, Velvet Room, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know, just to slightly elaborate on that before we do the shot, like, America, you just said something that I always say, but it's so glad to have it vouched for, like, it changed the mindset. Like, there's the litness and all the surface stuff, but the mindset, you just said, like, the experience changed the way that you thought about things. Yeah. And it changes your way of branding. Yeah. I think it opened my eyes to more of an experience with brands rather than just titles and things. Because in America, everything's celebrated.
Bro, in America, we were in a taxi, and the taxi was playing music from the club, telling everybody this is the place to be tonight.
It's a different experience.
We don't get that here.
And the maddest thing is, you know, when you say it to guys here who haven't been in America, like, man, are like, stop thinking, like, why are you on there? Like, why are you onto them? Like, why are you gassing up America? But it really is a different experience.
It is different. Like. And the funny thing is, I feel like because we're a minority here, we would be celebrated more. You know, like if all of us was American, I would be millionaires. Guaranteed.
Fact.
Like I've deeped it. We got bumped when our families decided to come here.
100%.
Don't get me wrong. America has this madness or whatever, but the way we fought and the way we've moved and navigated,
the things we've done as well. 100%.
If we were in America, we would all be 100% easily.
Talking to millionaires, come, let's do this, bro. All right, so 2 shots of tequila today. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what you got me on still. Cheers, bro.
You got the good stuff as well, you know. Clear Patron.
Bro, why did you not do that, bro?
What's the most you've done in one go? Like, as in one night?
What do you mean?
Tequila.
I don't drink tequila at all, bro.
Okay.
Like, at all. Like, no, tell a lie. Birthday shots, like, might do like 10 shots on a birthday, do you know what I mean? But lemon, lime, salt, and all that great stuff. What's all this?
Oh, straight.
This is like
about 35.
What?
Yeah, on holiday in Croatia.
35 back-to-back shots?
Not back-to-back, but through a night. So, like, between 3 or 4 hours.
Why?
Because it just feels like water when
Where did you end up at that night?
In my bed.
Oh, is it? On your own?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Well, on tequila, you know? All right, cool. So, Faded. How did we go from... So, what was the transition from 40s to Faded? And do you know what? Before we move on 40s, because 40s, you know I always go on about it, because I think the branding of that was ahead of his time.
Bro, people still talk about it today.
It's ahead of his time. And I don't really actually know the story as to why he stopped it, to be honest.
Okay, I'll tell you why. So there's a designer, his name's... Brother, listen, if you're still alive and you're still about, shout me, man. No, there's a guy that used to follow me on... It's probably early Twitter. Nah, that can't be Twitter. Nah, it might... Yeah, no, it was Twitter. Yeah, it was Twitter. So, his name's Adrian. I know his little sister now, but I've just never asked her, how's your brother? But yeah, so he saw what I was doing and he goes, yo, I'm going to fire some designs to you. I'm just bored. He's one of them eclectic guys that would just sit in his yard for 6 months. Yeah. Would never come out. Like the first time I met him was like 5 years after we've worked together at Wireless. Like I've never met the guy. But he just sent me some designs. I said, brother, this one's sick. Work on this one more. Then he kind of developed it, gave me different colorways, and that's the hoodie.
Okay,
do
you know why?
That's not a font. He drew.
Yeah, bro. Do you know why the hoodie was class? Because it was actually good. It was proper material.
Now the quality was
very early on.
I'm gonna tell you the story about it. So what happened was, I met a guy through Benjot. Funny enough.
Oh, is it
Benjot and Trapstar? I don't think they want to say this, but
I think I know what you're talking about.
they had a printer.
Yeah. I remember.
He looked like Santa Claus.
Yeah. I remember.
Cool.
He was the guy. A lot of people. Yeah, I remember.
Exactly.
I remember.
So he had a funny way of printing that was unique. I don't know where he learned it, but it was cold because you felt my hoodie.
Yeah. It was different, bro. That was 2010, 2011.
Exactly. So obviously, whatever price he was mentioning, I said, "Yep, I'll do it, whatever." But then what happened is I managed to get like a bulk amount of hoodies, t-shirts, jumpers from a plug, on a low, and then but it was top quality because he wanted to get rid of it. He was like, Taser, you got to pay me a lot of money up front. I said, cool, no problem. So I did. But then when I went to my printers, not him, another guy. This guy used to work for Vivian Westwood.
Okay.
So he's got the experience of printing for Vivian Westwood. He's an old man, but he loves the screen printing. And I was like, listen, brother, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna need a favor. I'm gonna give you all of these clothing. I'm gonna need you to print these designs, but I'll pay you as I make money from the sales.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what? You're black, I'm black, and I like your energy. Cool. So he spent about 2 weeks printing. I think there was about 1,000 units.
Yeah, you had bear that time.
Bear.
I remember you
My whole
you probably got carried away with the freebies. You know, like them ones when you first started something like you're pissed like this bear freebies.
But because I got the hoodies on a low for cheaper, I didn't mind.
Okay.
So my whole room turned into a stock room. I had like 18 boxes of stock in my bedroom.
So one of the key questions, why did you stop that?
Oh, I just lost the motivation. I'm not gonna lie to you. The same way life just, when life just takes its toll. Same way I stopped music. I used to do music back in the day when I was younger.
What do you think it is about like certain things? Because I think all of us who get to like successful brands, we've been through a lot of unsuccessful ones. What is it you think it is within those things that lead for you to stop them, quit them?
Some of them is
and
just
what's
like,
the difference now as to why you're not like, why are the ones you stuck with now? Why have you stuck with them?
All right, cool. Some of it is to do with the passion that you have. Some of it might be to do with extending your hand. I had a problem with that, like working with someone. Yeah, like you're not gonna get my vision, so I don't want to work with you. Or if I work with someone, I've kind of given you responsibility to kind of fuck it up for me. Yeah. So if I sell something to you, you're gonna come to me to complain, but it wasn't my fault. It was his fault.
So is that how you think now? Do you not like
No,
partners
now I've understood that, with business you can be at the top and delegate roles to people, but you have to be onto them to kind of get shit done. Even with, for example, Faded, it's me and my business partner Matthew Bridgman, and I always big him up because the way he thinks and the way I think is alike, but it's different. And you need that. Whereas before T's, it was just me. I didn't have anybody to tell me, do you know what, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? It's just me. But because it was working, I thought, all right, cool. Then when I lost motivation, there was no one there to pick me up to say, yo, but I'm still motivated. You can just take a back seat and let me. I didn't have that, so I thought, let me stop. Yeah. So then with Faded, it was more to do with he enjoyed events as much as I did. And we went to, how it started is we went to one event. I don't know if you don't remember Yo-Yo's in Notting Hill. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I went
that used to feel like the celeb spot to be.
Yeah. That was like, there was another event called like Trading Places.
Yeah.
It was like that kind of way, but you'll go any given Thursday.
Lily Allen or something like that.
Yeah, you might bump into Lily Allen, you might bump into Nas.
Yeah.
Your local
Pharrell or something.
Yeah. All right, do you know what I mean? Everyone has been through them doors. So I think one day we went there, me and him, and let's say the capacity was about 200. I said hello to 180 people. I was like, you realize I know the whole rave.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
so something I get asked a lot on like my lives and stuff is about, and these are things that for us are quite normal, but it's networking. And I often find it quite hard to say like, how do you become good at networking? But I've said my main things. Where would you say, what was your strong points? Like, how did you know these people? What was it you did? Was this from college? Was this because you did music? Was this just being known in the ends? What was it from?
Well, at first I was known, but I was not. When people ask me this, I say, for me, I think it's more natural because even when I was in primary school, I knew, like I'm in year 5 saying hello to people in year 1. I know it sounds mad, but I just knew people in year 1, year 2, year 3, 4, 5, 6. Then when I hit secondary school, I went to secondary school in Queen's Park. It's like in the middle of Kilburn and Woolston. And we had a couple of people from Kensal Green and Moser as well. So it was like, it was a lot of people. I'm in year 7 and I'm already saying, well, gone to man in year 11.
Is that intentional for you?
It's just normal. Like, I didn't think anything of it at the time.
So if you walk into a room now and there's 30 people, what's your first thoughts?
Oh, we're talking about working the room.
Yeah.
There's a science to it, you know.
Go on.
Like, I've actually read it. So, for example, Sunday show.
Sunday show.
Like, let me use Sunday show as an example. When
Wait. Who's behind Sunday show?
Napper and Marvin.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you was gonna say you was behind.
No.
Okay,
But I used to be that. No, but yeah, I'm giving you an example.
There regular.
Of working the room.
Yeah. Right, cool.
No. Okay, let's just use
Sunday show was a good time in life, you know.
Exactly. Let me just use an example, a basic example for any event.
Yeah.
For example, so your birthday party.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
It's your birthday party. It's your event. I'm assuming, let's say 200 people are there. At least 150 people know you.
Yeah.
Because it's your event.
Yeah.
So when I walk into a room, what I do is come and say hello to you first before I say hello to anybody else. What that does for the rest of the room is that he knows who's throwing the event. But it's a science to it. But I just do it naturally.
Yeah,
whereas
of course.
Some people will write it down and be like, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
Then
I'm not gonna lie, I follow the same thing, but it's funny hearing it. It's funny hearing it. Yeah.
So
Facts.
then what that does for the rest of the room is, okay, if he knows the man in the room right now, he must be somebody to know.
Yeah, fact.
That's it. Whether I speak to anybody else, it doesn't matter.
And you know what it is? It works 360 because now everyone wants to know why everyone else knows you and they don't.
There you go.
It's fear of missing out.
Even when I say goodbye to people, I've noticed I don't go around the room and say bye to everybody. I just leave. If anybody cared that I was there, they'll hit me up. Oh, where did you go? No, but you see what I'm saying?
Hey, listen. You see this guy? Protect yourself. Yeah, protect yourself.
If you can work a room, this is
no. Facts, it's facts. It's facts.
Well, people tell you this in.
So it's sales, isn't it?
No, but exactly. So people tell you this. When you go to a business meeting or an interview, do certain things, but they don't tell you can do it in life.
Facts.
They don't tell you can do this to secure money.
Agreed. 100%.
Exactly. So why is it negative when it's
no. You're 100% right.
That's what I'm
and
trying to say.
that even goes on to like how people see just sales and these kind of psychological things. It's got a negative connotation. When you deep it, that's how you become successful in it.
It's like you pry on the insecurities or the weaknesses of other people to benefit you.
Woo.
People say it's bad.
We're taking a shot from that one. Say that one again. iTunes, you hear that one? We pry on. Go again. No, don't draw out. You know I'm gonna get you.
No. What I'm saying is, no. What I'm saying.
Cut. Go on.
I was gonna say something else. I was gonna say what I've learned in business is, if I want something from you,
yes,
I've got to figure out what makes you tick.
Facts.
First.
Talk the talk, bro.
Yeah, I've got to figure out what makes you tick first. I can't just phone you and say, you know what, Tristan, hear what I'm saying? Yeah, I got an idea. I'm gonna need 5 bags. What?
Yeah.
But if I now know you're willing to make 20, I'll tell you, listen, I've got an idea. It's gonna make 20
bags.
Boom, you're
100%.
interested. But it's gonna need me to make. I'm gonna need 5. You're more than likely gonna think, right, well, I've got 5.
Yeah.
You telling me I'm gonna get the 20? You're interested now.
Where would you say? Because you went uni, right?
Yeah.
Graduated degree.
Yeah.
Where? But I'm not saying this that. I just wanted to know that as a side note. But where did you get this from? Like for me, a lot of this was like I actually learned sales, innit? Because that was my job. But for you, where did you pick this up from?
Reading books and then looking at successful people and watching interviews. Like I love watching interviews. See stuff like Breakfast Club and just conversation like this. I love watching other people because they just drop certain things that just sticks with me. And then finding out what books they've read or what they've watched and then going to read that. Facts. Just to see certain things. There could be one thing I've taken from it and just think, all right, cool, I'm going to run with this. It's like with events, for example, yeah. When I first started Faded, the reason why I started Faded because I spent a whole year 3 times a week, for example, going raving with Napa in West End.
Talk it.
Bro, I was in Aura. I was in Funky Buddha.
Jalouse?
No, not even Jalouse. What was Jalouse before Jalouse? Exactly. Because Jalouse is recent, you know.
Jalouse is recent. You're
Jalouse
right.
before Jalouse. There was Bond.
Oh my days.
Alto.
Penthouse. Alto.
Do you know what I mean?
Stanza.
Stanza. What's the one that's at the bottom of Leicester Square?
Sound.
No, but the other one. On the other
Penthouse,
side.
no?
So Sound is here. Penthouse is on top of Sound. There's one that was on the other side.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
towards
I can see it in my head. Yeah. It's round the corner.
Storm. Yeah.
Storm, yeah.
Then you've got Pigalle. You've got...
Oh my days! You're taking me back.
So
No, word.
Vendome.
Wednesdays. What?
Do you remember the girls when he done the calendar?
What? Hey, This is what I said to you. Like, this is a different kind of episode. Cause trust me, this like anyway.
Listen,
I ain't gonna go.
Bro, I touched all of these dances.
Let's do this one.
But you know, I touched all these dances with no P.
Yeah. Do you know what? All right, let's do this one. I'm gonna talk that. Woo!
Mustard bar.
Oh my God. Go on, carry on. Departure lounge with the red walls.
Agenda.
E3.
Yeah.
E3 was a bit out of that though. It was out of that kind of circle.
Yeah,
E3 was a bit hood.
You need to go with the hood man.
Yeah. Facts.
Vibes. But
Facts.
all of these raves man touched when I was younger, like 22, 23.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where I was like, one incident happened. There's a girl that I saw in Aura. I was on a table. No, I was walking to my table in Aura. And you know Mikey, Trapstar?
Yeah, of course. Big up Mikey.
He said Wagwan. And even to me, I was like, bro, he knows who I am. At 23. He's like, yo, Taze. I was like, oh shit, Wagwan.
Do you know what? I'm gonna jump in there. Do you know why I proper respect you said that, yeah? We're so scared to do that. Like, you see, like, we all grew up, yeah, seeing certain people, regardless of they're our friends now, we rated them, bro. Mikey, big shout out to Mikey, always rated him, bro. So you see, like, when he's come to, like, Rap City and he's needed this, needed that, it's like, we there's too much ego in this industry, bro. Like, in regards to, like, don't want to say, like, man was gas, but yeah, sorry.
No, man, no. But I praise these man because, yo, if you man weren't doing your thing them day there, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So when he extended his hand and he said, yo, Taze, Wagwan, he knew who I was. He didn't just say Wagwan to a black brother. He knew what I was doing and who I was. Girls saw that and got gas.
That's how it goes.
That's when, for me, I was like, oh, my days.
Raheem, I want you to zoom in my face for this. I want you to zoom in my face for this one. That is how it goes.
So imagine, the same girl I tried to talk to last week when I came Aura was like, saw Mikey say Wagwan to me, and all of a sudden I'm somebody that she should know. So all of this is adding up now. What I've read in the books is like it's adding up now. All
right. So jokes aside, obviously I said that's how it goes, but I wanna really pick at the gem here. Like, there is a psychology in regards to knowing how to read a room and knowing how to read people. One of the biggest books I always speak about is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Really good for things like this. To have that understanding that that's how things work. For everyone who DMs me all the time and asks is how do you network, you've got to work out, and it's key. And I do this everywhere I go, every environment, from when I went to uni, from when I was in new schools, new areas, whatever. Who are the main people in this room? First and foremost, who runs shit here? And then work out what value you can bring to that person to be able to be of a value yourself. Then we start to build up, because everywhere you go, there is a hierarchy. In every room, there is a hierarchy. So something I relate on with what Tay said is how I came up in the sort of in the rave scene was going into events, always showing face. So when always telling that promoter I was coming, so they would pattern whatever they need to pattern, but going in straight away and saluting that promoter. And probably my main thing was taking that promoter to the bar straight away. Take the promoter to the bar, get them a drink, start the wave. Who's this guy? He's coming, taking the promoter to the bar. Bam, then we're in. I need to know him. Why don't I know him? Everyone knows him. Yada, 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 yada. So the point being, there is definitely a psychology behind analyzing a room, reading the room, and picking out the best things in a room. And if you're not aware of this, become aware of it. Do continue, Taze.
I don't even know where I'm continuing now.
All right, so we'll go back. So we're at Faded, yeah?
Yeah.
So you've kind of given us an idea of how it started, but why did it start? Like, what was, obviously you said you wanted to give people a good time, but the way you've branded Faded, and you know one thing I love about this conversation is I know loads about you, but I also know little. So like, I know loads about you as a person, but a lot of your things, I kind of went in my ghost mode when these things were really popping. So Faded, I used to hear like people in the city talk about it. I used to think, oh, that's my guy Taser, like, but I wasn't even online at the time anymore. So how did you, how did we get it to like a very, I would say commercial? Like it was a very it's a very commercial brand, I would say.
What I would say is, I know where I was, So the journey was, cool. Everybody was raving in West End.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired of West End when that Mikey thing happened.
Mm-hmm. Carry on, Mikey.
Because I was like, hold on a second. Like, you're only talking to me because you saw me say Wagwan to someone who was doing something.
When you realised that, how did you feel?
I just thought, I don't like this pretentious stuff. I don't like this pretentious shit. Like, I just don't like it. Like, just because I'm spending X amount today, that's why you're talking to me. And then one girl in particular that was mad bait at the time that everybody wanted to talk to. She was my brethren, so we spoke. But then when we go raving, she's moving mad prestige in that. And then when I found out she worked in Marks and Spencer's, not saying there's anything wrong with working in Marks and Spencer's, but the attitude that she had at the time, I was like, yo, you need to allow it.
Yeah.
So that just put me off. I said, you know what? Fuck West End. If I can spare.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I had the same outlook towards West End.
So then after that, I was like, but what's the alternative?
Yeah.
I didn't know what the alternative was. So you know what? I'm gonna make an alternative.
Sick.
So that's where Faded was born.
Sick.
And then in Faded, we could play Meek Mill, we could play French Montana, we could play Drake, we could play 50 Cent. Whereas in West End, you're getting the manager coming to you. That's a bit too exotic.
Yeah.
Too aggressive.
Yeah.
You turn it down. So you're just hearing commercial music. So that's what kind of sold. Because funny enough, by the time I started Faded 2012 March. By December 2012, Mikey had come.
Sick.
So someone who's a hero to me had come to one of my
events. That's something I've noticed as well. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've never been to a Faded, which is mad for me.
You disappeared.
Yeah, because when you lot started really damaging, I was out of all of it. But the things that I've seen from Faded, it's like you almost bridge that gap between, like the private members clubs.
Yeah.
Where you'd see the celebs in the dark corners, do you know what I mean? Like you'd see that's how I felt Faded was, but I felt like people went there to let go. So I felt like a lot of those celebs didn't feel that it was being watched at Faded.
There's no need to be pretentious at Faded. Like, do you know what? One of the main things at Faded is you can never buy a table. So I've had so many people come. So if I say some names, this isn't name dropping. I'm just talking.
To be fair, I was gonna ask it. I was gonna say for those who don't know you and never seen it before.
Critical's come. Mm-hmm. Chip has come. Skepta's come. Sam Smith, Tanika. Then you've got like DJs, Cyan Anderson, Twin.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is?
You had Maya Jama.
Yeah, Maya Jama's come. Stormzy, Correct, Conan.
And they were just coming just to rave as well, not to.
They're literally just coming to party. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at it like that, Cadet, rest in peace. When you look at it like that, it's just that I've built something where people have just come to just vibe.
I think that's it.
They just come to obviously now we this is what we're gonna touch on as well. So as Faded grew, you get to a point where you got to diversify your brand.
Yeah.
So I've had mad other brands.
So when Faded grew, all right. So is Faded the one that was in Croatia, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So when Faded was growing as a brand, how did you go from Faded? And tell me if I'm going too quickly here because I don't think I've missed anything from Faded into the personality Taser that is now. So like 3 shots, and how did that transition happen? Because realistically, before that, you was promoter.
Yeah.
And but you always had personality online. Always showed that. Yeah. Always was quite outspoken online. Always in your everyday conversation. And just one thing about you, just like me, we stay relevant. Like we're in what is popping, and not even because we force it, but we'll bring everyone to our page. So like if that's the conversation that's happening there, we'll have the same conversation, but we won't just jump in there. We'll just say what we think about it, and the next thing you know, you got another debate.
I think you said it where you said you know a lot about me, but then at the same time you know very little about me.
Yeah.
So with me, I've kind of been very cautious in giving away too much elsewhere. If you want to know about me, you've got to come to me.
I think you do that really well, and I tell you why I say that, because it's like another reason why I really wanted you on here, because I know just from the way you execute things, you understand branding so well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're people that didn't study branding necessarily. Like I studied a bit of advertising, you might have studied a bit in yours, but we just picked this up as we went along. But you're very intentional with the way you do things. So I know that purposefully, when you're posting online, and we'll get onto this in more depth, and when you're posting on social media, I know every post is intentional. You take time to put up an Insta story in a certain way. You won't just post, like you have the right gifts, you have the right emote, you have everything that allow, like you have mastered the art in the UK culture of like having proper conversations that are going to go, I want to say viral, like viral conversations. Like
basically the stuff, Kanye, is it Kanye?
Yeah.
What's that saying, man? It's provocative.
Yeah. It's Kanye, Jay-Z, innit?
Yeah. So what it is. Yeah. So
you mastered it.
So whether you like it or you dislike it, it provokes an emotion.
Talk it. Because I really wanted to hear you say this.
The moment I can just get that, that's it. The moment anything, you go on my page now, Taser Black Instagram, quick plug. You'll see something that's like, why the fuck did he post that? Provoked an emotion.
So let me ask something, because I've noticed like you're sick, like bro. Guys, I don't rate everyone at anyone. Like, I think everyone knows that. There's only certain people. I intentionally want people on this platform because I actually really respect their journey. With you, I've noticed that you can do controversial, but still keep a very clean cut brand as yourself. Like, I tell you why I say that, bro. Because you should.
Controversial, bro.
Oh, you're controversial,
What's controversial?
The things you put out there are controversial, bro.
Okay, I put it out there, but it's not my information. I borrowed information from someone.
I know, but
but
let me explain something to Taze. You can't do this to me,
no,
though.
no. I'm just saying that. Think about it.
Yeah.
If we're in the world of social media where everyone retweets and reposts and blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, that's not my information. If you want to get technical, I didn't say it.
Okay. Facts. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Then if anybody wants to get into, you see my life. Anybody wants to get into back and forth with me, I'm like, yo, I'm just the host. I'm just the messenger. If you want to know what I think, like I said, my podcast is there. You can come to Faded and talk to me there, or you can phone me. But it's not public information.
Yeah.
So anybody who knows what I feel publicly, you had to listen to the podcast.
How do you like? Are you intentionally personal branding? Is that intentional for you?
Yeah, every move is intentional. Like you could tell me right now, for example, I used this example when I was on the free shots, and I said, man, them. Do you remember the time when Rihanna was fucking with Trapstar hard? She was everywhere with them. She was wearing their clothing, blah blah. And I said, you man, would you have tried a thing?
As in who, Trapstar?
No, just if Rihanna was around, for example, Rap City, she was fucking with Rap City, promoting Rap City.
Oh,
do you reckon you would have tried a thing to try to move to her? I wouldn't have.
No, I'm not going to lie to you. Do you want me to be honest with you? And I know he's going to sit there and say it's lies. No. He's going to sit there and say it's lies. But you know what? Nor would I. And you know what? No, you can say what you're saying, but bro, I've proven that time and time again, bro.
But why wouldn't you?
I'll tell you why. I have mastered the art. I could have a very, very attractive girl work for me and never pass that line. That's why when all this tweet stuff happened, I never had to go back for mine, bro. Because I understand. Like, this is why all my friends would be like, you must be this, you must be that, you must be this. And I know you get this as well, but
You do it to me.
I do it to you. I do.
No,
I do it to you.
But what I don't mind, the reason why I don't mind it is because
you know what it really is.
No, but as long as everyone has an assumption of you, they're just thinking about you.
Yeah, I feel you.
They're thinking about you. As long as you're in, imagine being.
Okay, I can't lie, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's time for another shot. Cause that's a gem. Go on.
Take the shot, yeah. Let me scare you for a bit. Yeah.
Go on.
Imagine people having conversations and you're not in it.
What do you mean?
Imagine there's people having conversations right now about people who are popping or events.
Yeah.
And you're not in it.
Oh, as in my name's not in it.
Imagine you're not in it.
Yeah, sour.
Fam.
I should be. I'm working.
Exactly.
Yeah. Facts.
So whether it's good or bad, you should still be.
All right, but you know what's interesting? Do you believe that all publicity is good publicity?
No.
Nor do I.
But publicity is publicity. We're not talking about whether it's good or bad.
Okay.
We're talking about publicity.
Okay. All right. So going back to what you just said, because I think the publicity thing's interesting. Your main thing is just, number one, to be in that conversation, because you know that when you find, and this is what I think, once you find my name, there's so much substance. I don't mind how you got there. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm cool for that. But if someone was sitting here right now and they're a social media influencer, presenter, host, artist, whatever they are, and they are currently right now being dragged for something, what would you say to them about that publicity?
Depends on what they're being dragged for. If you're being dragged for something you stand by, then firm it. If you're being dragged by something you don't stand by, then address it, apologize, and explain why you don't believe in whatever it is that you are getting dragged by, and then actively show the people that you so-called love and want to support you why you don't believe in it and why you plan to change. All
right, let's do a shot break quick. Cool. I'm not going to lie, I slightly forgot where we was, though. There was a point we was at while we're doing this shot. Do you remember? It's cool if you don't. We'll just move. Bye-bye. We'll just move on. Cheers, people. Cheers.
Oh shit! This is real tequila, by the way.
This is me stunting. I'm just stunting I'm just stunting. From a personal branding point of view, just to sort of wrap that up, you're saying everything's intentional for you. You analyze things before you get involved in them. I'm assuming.
Yeah. I try to, but so there's some things that are foreign to me. But I mean, if you kind of like sell it in a good way, I might be interested. It might, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take my fancy, but yeah, so there's been things that I've gotten myself involved in.
Yeah.
Like what we spoke about before we started recording.
Yeah.
That at the time I thought, yo, I'm onto a winner. And after a few weeks I realized, bruv, this is bullshit. And then I think one of the most important things that happened to me, which I always say wasn't planned, but I'm happy it happened, was when I had my daughter. Mm-hmm. So that situation, I've been very open about it. It wasn't a thing where it was planned. I wasn't with the mother of my child, but we have an amazing relationship now. But when she told me...
I didn't know this.
Yeah, when she told me that, yo, I'm pregnant, you're having a baby, or we're having a baby, you know when everything just goes black?
Yeah, how old is you at the time?
23, 24.
Okay.
So Faded is like 2 years old now.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, bruv, everything just came clear. I'm like, yo, the money that's coming in isn't even enough for me.
Yeah.
It's got to be for me and my daughter. This family situation is happening where, you know, okay, so let me give you another example. So you know when girls are like, oh, you still live with your mum?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's only when I got older that I realized, yo, my mum lives with me. Yo, but I'm the one paying the bills.
Yeah.
Or me and my brother, or me and my sister paying the bills. Technically, okay, yeah, mum, you went to the council and got the house, whatever, but bro, you live with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've cooked for myself since I was 18. I haven't asked my dad or my mum for money. Sorry, I haven't asked my dad for money since I was 16. I'm 31 now. So when people talk about leaning on your parents and stuff, I'm like, my mum's there because she's my mum. But all the stuff that you lot claim men are babies for, my mum doesn't do.
Do you know what? Really interesting topic, yeah? I and shout out Junes, because we both have the same thing. I have a big pet peeve of like social media narrating how our lives are meant to be lived. And what I mean by that is like these memes that are about how relationships are meant to be, how your life's meant to be, how your finances are meant to be. The memes that we never know who wrote them, but then the memes. Not videos of someone sitting there talking, but just these narratives that guys as well, will repost these things and make it almost seem like, so like for what you're saying, for example, if he does this and does that, then I'm out. If it's this and that, like I hate those things.
But the funny thing about that is the people, so again, so I get my profile, you'll see certain things that are provoking, but it's to provoke a conversation.
Yeah.
So when I post it, I'm not saying I believe it. I'm saying let's have a conversation about it. Do you know what I mean? So let's say I'll see a meme like that, and I'll post it just to see what people's thoughts are, and I'll get comments, and anybody that is anything of relevance to me, they'll probably DM me and we'll have a conversation about it. So the narrative that because a man lives at his mum's house, he's not serious is stupid to me, because I know men who are mashing P. We know men who are mashing P. And their mum's good. And if they so happen to stay at their mum's house for a period of time because they have a plan, who are you to tell them that, oh, you live at your mum's house? Or even the narrative. When I was younger, I heard a narrative, oh, he drives a rental, he don't own the car. When I got older, and I realized finance is not a bad thing.
100%. 100%.
Having your car finance is not a bad thing, but man grew up thinking, bro, man can't buy a car that's finance.
100%, bro. 100%. The person who put me on, I used to laugh at him for having a Aston Martin on finance when we was 21 years old. But now when I deep it, it's like he was actually in a financial position to make, like, that was where he actually was, but he was never going to put all his money, all his cash into a car.
So,
a depreciating asset.
I'm in a financial position where I could buy the car.
Yeah.
But why?
Why would you? Yeah, no, 100%. And it's just not the smartest thing anyway. And I think this is why I think it's so important to work out the credibility of the source of a lot of these things we see. Like a lot of these things that we see, who actually wrote them. Because even nowadays, a lot of tweets are actually edited. Like, so do you know how many times I've seen a quote and it will say like Will Smith, and I think Will Smith never said that, bro. Like, because 15 other men who wrote books said that. So who really said that thing?
The funny thing is, this is why I say that a lot of people are like sheep, and it's not a bad thing when people, for example, when we were talking about the art of manipulation.
Yeah, facts.
Manipulation is not a bad thing. There's a negative connotation to it, but bro, if I look at a room of 200 people and I can manipulate 180 to my benefit, how is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
I'm just a shrewd businessman.
And I'm not gonna lie, I fully vouch for what he's saying. For me, it's like, obviously I come from a sales background, so it's like the idea of sales was always seen as like, oh my god, you're selling that. It's like, well, the idea of sales should be your foundation of any business you have. If you can't sell it, then you're doomed.
I'll give you an example. We have a bondage to high fashion. I don't know who taught us that.
Yeah.
Mama's wearing a Celine hoodie over there.
Celine jumper, Chanel crepes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I've got Dior's on. I've got Dior's on.
Yeah,
I've got. No, but I'm just no. What I'm saying is what I'm basically getting at is that we have a bondage to high fashion, but I don't know who told us. No one sat us down and say, "Yo, listen, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to have this bondage." No, I don't know. Maybe it's influence from the music, the movies that we watch, just being.
I think it is.
Seeing the way people react to certain things.
Yeah,
that's another thing, you know.
100%.
Being in West End.
100%.
Being in West End, you're seeing a man with a roller.
You're seeing a man walk around you while you've been at the queue, and they're saying not tonight. They're saying not tonight, lads. To you, because you got no rollie, but he's got the rollie on, and he's getting this shit away. So you're thinking, I need to get the rollie.
Is if you do certain things, you're gonna get cut through. And then when you do cut through, the point I'm trying to make is when you do cut through, you realize, yo, this is bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm only gonna do it if I want to do it.
Facts.
I'm only
That's
gonna.
what I said the other day. Like I was on Beat Radio yesterday, and I said the same thing. It's like,
You're talking to my boys and secure the bag.
oh, is it? Yeah.
My guys,
Show.
Yeah.
And they said to me about like, what do I think about drip and that kind of stuff? And I said, I'm not gonna come on some only buy drip if you bought a house. I'm not that personal development guy, because that's not the way that I went with it. I just think, what are you buying it and why are you buying it for? I've got friends that genuinely love fashion, bro. Like they love textures, they love styles, they love patterns, they love seasons. Like, so if they go and spend 5, 6, 7 bag, whatever they want on drip, they're not actually doing it for the gram. Whereas I know a lot of people are. So I think the main thing is, why are you doing these things? It's not that you shouldn't do it. It's just balance, number one. And why are you doing it?
If you can explain why you're doing it, then by all means. Like even for me, I justify why I buy certain things. So I'll give you an example, and this is just me putting myself out there.
You got some new rings there, though.
I know, and these rings weren't cheap.
What are these? Who made these? Come, let's talk about these quick, because you know I like a bit of jewelry. Like, let's talk about it quick, bro. Like, you know, the thing is, this is one thing I always say, yeah. And you mentioned America as well. I always say in England, like, we're so scared to talk about figures, and we're gonna get on in a minute.
No, it's not even that we're no.
Go on.
See, it's not that I'm scared to talk about figures.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
The thing is, it's not about talking about figures. One thing I've realized is that you've got to remember, I feel like we've been kind of privileged in a sense that we've always wanted the finer things in life.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has. Mm-hmm. So I have people that come to my events and stuff that are on 20, 25 a year.
Yeah. All right.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you just got to be mindful of that.
100%. However, I'm going to disagree with you here, because my thing